So within the last week, Eminem just dropped a new album called Kamikaze, and I have to say, it is really fucking good. Now, for this video, I wanted to give it a bit of time. If I wanted to put it out on Monday, I easily could have. But I decided I wanted to take a little bit of time to just listen to the album, see, am I getting tired of it? Am I getting bored of it? Was it just Eminem and its name that was like, oh, new album, it's really great for the first 2 days, and then you listen to it again on the third and you're just like, it ain't that great. And for Revival, that really happened to me. So like the first 2 days I really liked it, but I only listened to the album like fully for about maybe 2 or 3 times. This one I've done about, I'm probably on my 20th time of listening to it. I've listened to it at work.
Smash into everyone, crash into everything, back, and I've just begun. Back 2017.
I've listened to it in bed.
I said a lot of things in my day. I admit it, this is payback in a way. I regret it that I did it.
I'll listen to it when I'm editing this video. Even when I'm on the toilet, I'm listening to this. I love the album. That's what I just need to get through to you. I love the album. And I won't say by any means this is his best album. If someone were to come up to me and say, give me an Eminem album you would recommend, I would not give Kamikaze the recommendation. But I'd say it is a really solid, heavy rap album. Now I think this album's definitely recognised as Eminem just dishing out disses on anyone he can. And it feels like he's gone back to his underground days of being in the rap battle game, and sort of feels like he's channeling a lot of that energy he had then and using it now. Pretty much all the lines don't feel like filler to me. They feel like Eminem's taken the time to write down exactly how he feels without overthinking himself. And that's even shown in his Instagram, which he basically just says, try not to overthink this one. He probably used it on Twitter and everything else he promotes things on. And I think that was the best option for him to go, which was just don't overthink it, just say how you feel, exactly what you want to say, because that's what everyone loves about Eminem. He just says what he thinks, and with Revival, it didn't feel like he was saying what he thought. It felt like he was holding it back a bit because of the whole PC shit that's going on, SJWs, and I think he was thinking that was how the world's supposed to be, and that's how the world's evolved, but I think he's realised now that actually people don't like that shit. And people love Eminem because he's the guy who says, fuck that, he's going to say what he wants. I think one of the main differences between Revival and Kamikaze are the features on them, because if you look at Revival, pretty much every song on there, maybe every other song, has at least one feature on it. And to be honest, none of those features work on that album or in the songs, because sure, some of the people who do the hooks are really good and what they say is really good. I think one of the outstanding ones, obviously, to everyone is the Ed Sheeran collab that they did. But to be honest, that song was pretty much the only one hit on that album, and I'll be honest, that was because Ed Sheeran wrote basically the whole melody of that song. He basically wrote that song, and Eminem just threw his lyrics in there, and that to me just feels like that's more of a Ed Sheeran song that features Eminem rather than an Eminem song that features Ed Sheeran. And if you look at Kamikaze, there are 3 features on that album. I can't remember her name, but there is a female vocalist who does a few of the hooks on the songs. I think mainly for Nice Guy and Good Guy. But then you've actually got actual rappers, not just pop stars like Alicia Keys or Beyonce. You've actually got Royce da 5'9" and Joyner Lucas, 2 really good rappers who are actually rapping alongside Eminem, and that is where Eminem thrives. When he's put in the booth and he knows there's another rapper on the song, he wants to outdo them no matter how good he likes them. He knows they're good, but he wants to make them know that he is better. And he proves that in this. But that's the difference between Kamikaze and Revival. Revival just threw any big names to draw more people to look back at Eminem and get his album to sell, which he didn't ever need to do. Kamikaze took just a few features, not in every fucking song. It took 2 really good rappers who Eminem could work with, and they made something really good together when they were featured on those songs. Now obviously I've praised this album, I think it's great. However, there are a few imperfections with it. I will say, I think all his lyrics in the album are amazing, but one of the things I will have a criticism about is the fact that with Eminem, his older sort of songs, and he has a lot more hooks that work a bit better and are more catchy. And I will say Kamikaze doesn't really have that one hook that everyone will go, oh yeah, this definitely defines Eminem. When I think of Eminem, I'm going to think of that hook. Because when you think Eminem, you think of My Name Is, Without Me, Till I Collapse. Songs like that, which has the hook instantly in your head. But with this album, even though I enjoyed the hooks, I didn't feel like they were the main focus of this album, and I feel like if Eminem were, and I believe he will do, another album, I want him to work more on his hooks and be able to make that kind of club hit. Another criticism I will make about this album was, I felt like with a lot of the songs, it's almost like, say you have the first two verses, which is like this, and then you have the final third verse, which is a bit more like this. The first two verses, the beat would be fairly similar, it would stay the same and kind of feel familiar. Then you get to that third verse, and it felt like in a lot of the songs, the third verse would always change how it would develop. For example, Normal, you get the first two, and then it suddenly goes into the more piano bit. And then that's shown again within Nice Guy to Good Guy. Even though they're two different songs, I felt like it happened a fair few times in the album that he decided, let's not do it again, let's split it into two songs. Although I did enjoy it when that happened in the songs anyway, so it's not too big a criticism. One of the things that's in my head that I want to note from this is why I think the album was so good, is the fact that Rick Rubin wasn't actually a producer on it, where he was on Revival and he was on the Marshall Mathers LP 2. I know a lot of Eminem fans aren't too big on Marshall Mathers LP 2, even though I would say it's probably one of his best albums. But I will say it does lean in a lot on the rock side of things rather than rap, and I felt like that was a very Rick Rubin thing. And then Revival was a lot of trap, which I even heard Rick Rubin say Eminem wasn't keen on doing trap in one of his interviews he did on a podcast or something. And I personally think that the fact that Rick Rubin wasn't on the, at least in the credits of the Kamikaze album, I think that was a big help, because I feel like Dr. Dre and Eminem are the two guys that make Eminem albums. I don't think adding someone like Rick Rubin into the mix really helps make a solid, this is the definition of Eminem sort of album. So I want to list off like my top 3 songs from this album. Instantly I've got to say Stepping Stones. That feels like this album's Toy Soldier, or this album's Cleaning Out My Closet. I really like the song. I thought it has a nice beat to it, and I feel like it kind of talks a lot more about Eminem and D12, and it's what I like about Eminem is when he's personal, and he kind of gets really personal about his friends, which I don't think is something he's covered before. He's always talked about his relationships with girls and women and his dad and his mum, but he's never really focused on his friendships like with D12, and I thought it was really nice to hear that. Although I will say he's gone from River to Stepping Stones, and I reckon he'll probably make a song called fucking Lily Pads at this point. I think my second favourite song on the album is Normal. I just kind of like it. It's quite a typical Eminem having girl problems sort of song. But then I'd say my third favourite is The Greatest. I thought The Greatest, is it The Greatest or is it just Greatest? Either way, it's got the word greatest in there. But I really like it, and this was one of the ones where I felt like the hook really worked, and I quite like it, and I say if I were to go concert in it, I'll be able to just like sing along with it and just be like, yeah, this is a really good song. Just trying to make this top 3 list is actually kind of getting on my nerves, because I'm just like, yeah, I'll put those are my top 3. Actually, no, that's a really good song. Maybe I should put that on there. But I do want to mention an extra one, which is Fool. I really love that song. I especially love the bit with where he says about the culture and mentions Hobson, Logic, 50 Cent, Big Sean, that sort of bit in the song, sorry. But I love Hobson's reaction to hearing his own name. I think that was probably one of my favourite things of seeing people react to this album.
Whoa, shit! Man, I gotta call my mom. Fuck!
Although, speaking of people reacting to the album, Machine Gun Kelly, Rap Devil was... I gotta say, I've talked to Upson about this, like, on his stream, and he didn't seem to be a big fan of it, but to be honest, I thought it was quite good. I thought some of the lines in it used were really fucking good, especially the real Slim Shady Can't Even Stand Up. I can't remember how it goes, but I'm gonna give that another listen, and in all honesty, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, that song now, because I love Eminem, and I've never even really listened to Machine Gun Kelly, but Rap Devil was actually quite good, and now I'm gonna go and listen to more of his stuff, so yeah, that's a bit of a thing from me. Now, where would I actually rank this album? Kamikaze definitely belongs in the top 5, and it's definitely where Eminem in his modern day sort of persona and who he is and his age, at the age he is as well. He's 46, which is fair enough. He's actually still spitting at that age. Is something you should respect, and if you don't respect that, you should at least respect the mark he has left on the rap genre. But I'd say Kamikaze is in the top 5, maybe 4th, maybe 5th, but I don't know. You'll find out in the ranking. Also, actually, I'll leave that as like a post-credits little thing at the end of this video. Anyway, I've been Ollie Rodriguez. Hope you did enjoy this, hopefully short video. If you did enjoy it, then leave a like. If you want to see more Eminem, leave a like. If you want to see me more, then subscribe. Yeah, it is on this one. Later. Right, so here's the post-credits a little bit. Eminem Marshall Mathers LP3. Don't know if you've seen that. I found it. I'm gonna make a reaction video to it when I listen to it.